Hey, welcome everybody to the PK Sportscast. I am your host, John, aka that PK boy. We've got Mango here, got Caleb, got Knock. How you fellas doing today, man?
Man, doing
Doing
good
great,
today,
man.
fellas. How
Doing
we doing?
excellent, thank you.
Oh man, I'm feeling good. I'm excited. We got a week off last week, but now we are finally here. Football is beginning tonight. I cannot wait. We got some good stuff, man. Ready to go over some standings and these week one games. Possibly even get some money or really just some tanks of gas off y'all or something, man. I'm ready to make something this week. But let's go ahead and get it started, man. Mango, what are those standings looking like for this year, man? What are you thinking?
Oh man, they're looking great. Man, just rolling right into it. Going into my AFC standing, we got Kansas City coming out at the number 1. Got Buffalo coming in at the number 2. Probably a surprise to some people. I've actually got Indianapolis winning their division and coming out at the number 3. Got Baltimore winning their division over Cincinnati coming out at the number 4. I don't think that's too big of a surprise. I think they're right there. They're right there at that team. Number 5 is interesting for me. I got the Chargers. Coming out of LA. And then number 6, I got Tennessee. Number 7, I got Cincinnati. I don't think there's too much to really dive into there. I think maybe the only thing might be Indianapolis. We'd probably get on to me about that later, but we'll hop right over to the NFC. I got Green Bay coming in at the 1. Got Tampa Bay coming in at the 2. Dallas is going to be a fun one to watch this year, boys. I got them coming in at the 3. And the Super Bowl champs, I got to have them in there. They're going to win that division, coming in at the 4. Another fun team, though, is going to be Minnesota. I think Minnesota is a good quarterback away from actually winning a chip, but I think they finally bust into the playoffs with the wild card. They get the number 5. All this speculation on Trey Lance, it's all going to pay off for him. He's going to do pretty well this year. They're coming in at the 6. And number 7, I got Philadelphia, man. And you know what? I really, really like that pick. I know I've gotten a little bit of slack because I had them losing a few games during the season. But I do think they'd sneak into the playoff. They get that last wild card spot. And I think they're rolling pretty well. But just to keep this moving along, Caleb, what's your seeding looking like, man?
Hold on. Before you get started, Caleb, who'd you say you had going and winning the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah. Let's roll over to that real quick. You're right.
I'm curious, out of all those teams you got named there, who you got taking it all?
Yeah, you're right. So I've got Kansas City and Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, and I'm still rolling with my boys. We got a rematch, and we're going to get after Tom. We're going to take it 31-27, boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that sound of that. A nice little revenge game.
Yeah,
I like it.
Hey. Okay, well, I mean, I was ready to dig into your standings and give you some crap, but honestly, I liked the happy ending so much. I think I'm going to lay off a little bit. Anybody else got any opinions on what he's got there?
I really don't. No,
No.
I really don't. I think you can clown on mine a little bit more, but we'll get there.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, honestly, looking at everything, I'm not too upset. The only thing I'm going to say, and this is probably going to be common for everybody, but I don't like Tennessee in there at the 6, but we gonna find out. We're gonna find out. I think San Francisco's a little ballsy, but a very interesting pick. We'll see how Trey does this season. I like that pick.
Thank you.
But yeah, Caleb, what you got over there? You said we're gonna be able to pick on you a little more.
Yeah, I think I have something that you'll be. I think you guys are going to be able to clown on me a little bit. My AFC picture, of course, I got our boys, KC, coming out on top 14-3. I got them as my 1 seed. My 2, I have as Indianapolis. I think I might go to regret that, but I'm sticking with it. I have them at the 2 seed coming out 14-3. We'll see. I have Buffalo. They're going to be one of the best 3 seeds ever if this happens. I have them coming out as a 3 seed at 14-3. I have Cincinnati coming out on top of the AFC North. They're going to be 12-5. This is where, John, I think you're gonna poke a little fun at me. I have Tennessee coming out 12-5. I have them coming. They'll be 2nd in their division out of the South. They'll be the 5th. I have Baltimore tying with Cincinnati. I have them going 12-5 as well as the 6th seed. Here's where I think I'm going to get a lot of hate for this one. I have the Dolphins sneaking in as the 7th seed. I have them going 11-6. So we'll kind of see. We'll kind of see. They could be an 11-6 or a 6-11. I don't really know with them. My NFC, my NFC picture. Unfortunately, I do have Tampa coming out as the 1 seed. I have them going 14-3. I've just learned not to bet against Tampa Bay. I just learned not to. I have the defending Super Bowl champions. I have them as the 2nd seed. I have them going 14-3 as well. I have Green Bay as my third, coming in at 13-4. This is going to be the NFC East is going to be very, very interesting this year. I have the Cowboys coming out 12-5. I also have the Eagles coming out 12-5. They are my 4-5 seeds. I have Minnesota coming out as the 6th seed. They're going to be 9-8. I think this is kind of the year that I'm not seeing any kind of a deep run into the playoffs, but I do feel like they're going to have kind of that breakthrough season maybe. I'm really hoping that for the Vikings. I really am. And then I have the good old Cardinals sneaking in as my 7th. They're going to go 9-8 this season. So we have a lot of good things to cover. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I do have my Super Bowls. This hurts. This hurts a lot. I do have Kansas City losing in the AFC Championship game. I have Buffalo and Tampa in the Super Bowl. I have Tampa winning at 28-24.
Oh, I mean, I can't say I don't see it happening, but man, that's tough. That's tough.
It is, and I see it going either way. I see it going either way. I think Buffalo's hungry, so I could be wrong on that. This may be just 1-2-4 or 1-2-4, 1-2 far for Brady. It might be Buffalo's year. We'll just have to see. I'm not putting money on it. I just want to see how it goes. What do you think?
They're not even part of your playoffs. I just want to mention a couple of things I noticed on this graphic.
Okay, lay it on me.
Raiders 4-13. As much as I'd love to see it happen, don't see it happening. But I will root for that all day, every day. I hope that you're right. New England missing the playoffs. That's something we don't see very often. Again, while I'd like to see it happen, don't see it happening.
And I could be wrong.
Seattle being better than San Francisco in the division. Did you think about that one?
I did. No, I didn't. To answer your question, no, I did not. No, I looking at it, I don't know. Was it the slate of games? Was it the strength of schedule? I don't know. Looking at it, I think that's the one. We all have one regret. Maybe not, but we all have one regret. My one regret with this is having Seattle at 8-9.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I got a couple regrets, but we'll get to those later. Anybody else got any ideas before I just look like the big bully going after everybody? Because I feel like I got more. Like Carolina 4-13. Does that mean McCaffrey's getting hurt again?
I mean, as far as your seeding goes, I mean, the only thing I'd really I might flip Dallas and Philadelphia. I mean, those two teams, it's kind of a toss-up, man. I think Philadelphia's got a really good team. I think I had Dallas at like 13-4 and Philadelphia at 10-7. So, I mean, I might be off by a couple games. It's probably going to be a lot closer than that. So, I don't think that's a horrible pick. But Arizona being beating out San Francisco for a wild card spot is wild. I think they've got a damn good team. I think they got a really good defense. And Arizona, there's so much speculation going on around Arizona. I won't deny Kyler's talent. I think he's great. But if the man can't lead his team and can't watch film, then how the hell is he going to lead his football team? So I just really don't know.
That's big shots. Big shots.
Hey, listen, man. Trey Lance is a first-round quarterback, and you know what first-round quarterbacks do? They play. And so, I mean, they signed Jimmy G as a backup just in case, but they gave him the keys to the Ferrari, man. They're going to let him drive it. So let's see what happens.
Speaking of first-round quarterbacks, again, 4-13 for Carolina.
You can roast me for that one later. That's all right. I got something for you.
It's okay. Knock, you got anything, or are you ready to roll into some standings?
Well, I'm looking here. I just wanted to point out that Caleb has the Falcons going 7-10 and being second in that division, and that's the same record that Mr. Mango also had, and we gave him a bunch of crap for that. So I just want to point that out. Caleb, if you talk any mess to him about the way he felt about those Falcons, other than the guarantee that they would definitely beat the
Yeah,
Buccaneers this year,
that's
other
on
than
him.
that, because you didn't co-sign for that one. But you guys both do have them at the same record. So
You
just
know
throwing
what?
this
At
out
this
there.
point,
And
oh, go ahead. My bad. My bad. Didn't mean to
in
interrupt you. Go
your
ahead.
defense also, the Seahawks do have the easiest strength of schedule in the league, and I still have them only winning one game. They're that trash. So with that being
I don't
said,
think they're necessarily.
let's just segue
Damn.
right into my standings, shall we? Uh, I have the Chiefs, who have the toughest schedule on the season. I still have them winning the AFC with the number one seed, going 14-3. Um, and surprisingly, the only team in the AFC West that makes the playoffs on my list. Moving forward, we have the Colts. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong standings because I didn't. As soon as I said that, that didn't sound right. Moving forward, we have the Bills come in at 13-4. They're scratching the surface. They're right there. I have them winning week one also, but those guys are, they're motivated in the offseason. Bills Mafia is coming out hard. And with the third seed, I have the Ravens. Lamar's back. You were going to see those guys just going crazy this year. Fourth seed, I have the Colts winning a tough South division. I have the Colts winning a tough South division, 12-5. And then in the AFC wild card picture, um, looks like I've got the Chargers at the fifth seed, Titans sixth seed, and the Patriots with the seventh seed. You never count out Bill and that defense. They know how to get into the playoffs. As far as the NFC West, I think we're going to see out with the old and in with the new. NFL stands for not for long, and there is no establishment in the NFL other than the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid, as so long as Mahomes and Reid are there. With that being said, we've got the Buccaneers winning the division, winning the NFC. I think we're going to see this kind of play out where they really dominate in the regular season, but I don't have them winning the Super Bowl like Matt and Caleb both do. But I'll move forward with the Eagles winning that division at 14-3, and the two seed, the Vikings, surprisingly taking the NFC North. I know I'm going to catch a bunch of flack about this. At 13-4, and the Rams, obviously defending Super Bowl champions, they're going to win a packed NFC West 13-4. The playoff picture on that side, wild card standings, you got the Cowboys, who are going to have a hell of a season this year, barely missing out on winning their division and coming in at 13-4. They're going to finish the season strong, going into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. Then we've got the Cardinals at 12-5. They're going to have a stellar defense this year, and then you're going to have the Lions, my crazy pick, squeezing in at 9-8, getting into the playoffs. And that's what it looks like. We're going to see Aaron Rodgers and the Packers take a step back. I don't see how they get better. They barely miss out with an 8-9 season. With that being
I
said,
agree.
I've got the Kansas City Chiefs winning it all in the Super Bowl against those Dallas Cowboys coming in from Dallas to make a run in the playoffs and make it all the way there just to fall short to Kansas City and Andy Reid. Patrick Mahomes, let's go, baby. Let's go.
I see how you and Marengo are doing. Y'all come out here and say all this crazy stuff on your standings, and then you try to get me to forget about it when you say the Chiefs go win the Super Bowl. You try to get on the good side there. I see what y'all are doing. But I liked a lot of what you said. I think there aren't a lot of terrible picks on there, but man, like I like the Minnesota winning the division and changing things up a little bit. I'm not super mad at that idea. But the Lions sneaking in and the Packers not. That one, that's a bold prediction. That is a very bold prediction. I think that that's either going to win you the competition this year or lose it completely. But
You
that
could be right about that.
I'll give you respect for going out on a limb there with that one.
I'm very happy with the fact that you took these bold predictions so seriously. I don't know what craziness John is talking over there with my saying crazy stuff. I mean, you've got Indianapolis winning the entire AFC, but I'll come after you later. Um, having Detroit sneak into the playoffs, man, I like it. I like the faith that you have in Detroit. I like the belief, but it damn sure ain't gonna happen. And damn sure Aaron Rodgers is going to the playoffs. You have him at what, 8-9? The back-to-back MVP is gonna fall off to 8-9. Arguably one of the best football teams in the NFL. I know they've lost some receivers, but you still have, I'd say, a top 5 quarterback all time, maybe top 10 quarterback all time as your franchise quarterback. He's going to figure it out. I don't care who he's throwing to. I don't care if he's got to run the ball 20 yards down the field himself to get a first down. It's going to happen.
They've got
But
a tough
other than that,
schedule.
man, they do have a tough schedule. I will give you that. But other than that, man, I don't think any of these picks are too far off. I think that I can definitely see all that happening. I think Dallas definitely has had the team to make a run at the playoffs for the past 5 years. They just continuously choke. But maybe we haven't heard too much about We Dem Boys this year, and we usually hear it all day, every day. So maybe that's the reason, and maybe this is the year they take it pretty far. But I don't know, man. I agree with most of it though.
I'm sorry, Mango. If I did not mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good.
I'm looking at Knox regular, and let me just preface what my main gripe was going to be at first. If I had a gripe, it was going to be, damn, how upset I would be to go 13-4 in the NFC East and I don't even win the division. Until we got to the NFC North.
Out with the old, in with the new.
You know what? You could say that. I know Aaron Rodgers turns 39 this upcoming NFL season. There is no way. There's no way we have Aaron Rodgers missing the playoffs and the Lions sneak in. You know what? I will respect it. You did say when we were off air, you did say you wanted to come in here with something bold. And my guy, you did. You did. But you know what? I like it. I'm here with I'm with PK on this. This is either going to make you or this is going to break you. I like it. I respect it. We're just going to have to see how it plays out. Because you could be entirely right.
If their defense is mediocre, this will hold up. If their defense is like it was last year, then they don't have a shot. I'm banking on an improved defense and an offense with better pieces than it had last year.
I'm not so worried about, I think that the Lions could go 9-8. I really like that idea. I don't know about them going 9-8 and the Packers not flipping roles with Minnesota possibly in that situation. I feel like Minnesota's much more likely to. I don't know about you guys. I feel like they're underwhelming almost every year. I'm like, man, they do have a squad. Like, they look like they could really do it. And I know, like, Jefferson's looking really good now too, but they always shit the bed. And they're like,
oh, I'm sorry.
The Vikings are like the Chargers of the NFC to me. Like, they look really good. Everyone thinks they're going to be good, but they still get fathered by one of the best quarterbacks of all time by the end of the year. So that's what ends up happening. Very Charger-esque.
My last point on it, though, is just, I know Detroit's done some rebuilding. I know they've done some really good things in their front office. They've done some really good things as far as players. But in the entire NFC, do you really think that they're a top 10 team, let alone a top 7?
Well, when you go through and you look at the schedule that they have the second easiest schedule just behind the Seahawks. And so I think that they actually squeeze out some of those games. Some of their toughest games, actually, they have at home also. When you combine that with their improvement and the regression of a couple of the better teams in that division being like the Packers have taken a step back on defense and they've taken a step back on offense. I don't see them. They do have Aaron Rodgers. And you know what? I know that you guys are a lot younger than me, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't make the playoffs perennially like Tom Brady does. Aaron Rodgers doesn't make the playoffs perennially like Peyton Manning does. Aaron Rodgers is not like those guys. Aaron Rodgers sits at home and watches the playoffs half the fucking time. Excuse my French. So, with that being said,
I mean, that's fair though. I mean,
you know,
like you got a solid point there.
That
regular
team is
season
not
gone.
as well rounded as I think that the Buccaneers are, who are going to really run the table in the NFC. Just my opinion.
No,
The Vikings,
absolutely.
on the other hand, they picked up Jalen Rager, who I think has a resurgence there. They also picked up Smith from the Packers, their best defender, now is playing over there. So I mean, I think they have a shot at being decent.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that they had the second easiest schedule in the in the league this year. So I mean that's definitely helpful. I mean I'm rooting for Detroit. I'm not a Detroit fan, but I really am rooting for them this year. I really like Dan Campbell. I think he's going to will those guys to some victories. I don't think they're at the Green Bay level this year, but we'll have to see what happens, man. I like the pick.
So here's oh no, my fault.
Oh no, no, sorry, go ahead. I was going to move on, but if you got something else, throw it in.
I just one thing. Aaron Rodgers is a regular season quarterback. Look at his last few seasons: 13-4, 13-3, 13-3. Yes, he did go 6-9 in 2018. Playoffs, yes, he does choke. I'm just saying he is a regular season quarterback. He is going to get you a double-digit amount of wins more often than not. So that was my only argument. Playoffs, yeah, doesn't matter. We're not talking about playoffs at the moment.
Playoffs?
Regular season, exactly. He will get you.
Want to talk about playoffs?
Exactly. PK, go ahead.
No, I was going to just say one last thing before I move on. When I first heard it, I didn't like it, but really thinking about it, especially because you got the Chiefs winning it, man, I think that the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl is a ballsy pick that honestly, like, putting some deep thought into it doesn't sound as crazy as it did initially. I think it's interesting that you have Philly winning the division and then Dallas coming up and winning some really good games. I mean, with that seeding, they got to start with Tampa, which is also their week 1 matchup. That'll be really interesting to have that rematch. It's hard to beat a team twice. So, I mean, if Tampa wins first game, maybe Dallas does come through and takes Tampa out. And at that point, you're kind of rolling. And this is the first season I feel like I haven't heard everyone yell at America's team that this is the year. Even Skip Bayless went on the air and said he just didn't see it happening. Never in my life thought I'd see that. And I also never thought I'd see Knock put him in there. So, I mean, shit, maybe they really have a legit reason to make it happen because I never thought I'd see that. But
oh yeah,
so I actually I wrote it down as a diss, but I'm gonna flip and I'm gonna say I like that pick. So as far as my standings, I know we just talked a lot of crap about Mr. Rogers, but I'll be real with you. I'm gonna start with the. I'm sorry, actually, let me rephrase that. We'll start at FC. I'll do the same order here. We all already know what's up. Indy gonna be the number 1 seed, baby. Let's go. They're coming in 14-3. That is my not so bold prediction because I think that they also have one of the easiest strengths of schedule. I think that they have the you've got the NFC East and then you got the AFC South. I mean, I think that they've got one of the easiest divisions to win. Generally, it's them in Tennessee fighting for it. I know with what you guys have on your standings, that's still what you believe is going to happen. But I think Tennessee took a huge step back. They still have a solid defense, but I think that with Derrick Henry coming off a broken foot, I think he's still going to be a monster, but maybe not a 2,000-yard monster. They lost A.J. Brown. They lost Julio Jones, who maybe wasn't huge production there, but I mean that is their top 2 receivers, and their their running back is struggling. Their quarterback doesn't even want to help train the guy under him. I just think that they've got an issue. The only reason I've got them going 9-8 is because I think that Vrabel's a great coach. So with that said, second seed Buffalo, no surprise there. They're a really solid squad. Nothing else really needs to be said. Kansas City coming in at the 3. I think that Kansas City could definitely do much better than this, but I think that just being under Mahomes, I'm used to 12 wins, baby. That's what we do. We do 12 wins. Try not to be a biased fan. The AFC West does get a little bit hard this season. I don't think that we're going to get an easy sweep. I think that we might struggle a little bit early on, but I think we're rolling into the playoffs on a good win streak. New upset. I got Baltimore winning the division, which I think all of us but what Caleb has, which really surprised me. I thought I was going to be one of the only ones saying that, but yeah, I guess everyone's seeing the sophomore slump coming. I think that they tie 12-5, but Baltimore wins them out on the division standing or division record. So since he takes that 5 seed, I've got Miami coming in and taking the 6 seed, surprisingly. And New England following up in that good old 7 spot. And what I found really interesting with this was, it took me a long time to figure out that tiebreaker with New England, Denver, and Vegas because they all go 10-7. I've got everybody in the AFC West. I think it's going to be the best division in football. I've got every single team in that division going over 500, but somehow I only have one making the playoffs, and I think that's kind of insane. I didn't do that on purpose. It just is what it is. So that's how my AFC is looking. NFC wise, Tampa Bay coming in first. No surprises there. I think Green Bay comes in second. Like you said, Aaron Rodgers is the regular season god. Defending Super Bowl champions, the Rams coming in at third with Philly winning the NFC East, 12-5, taking the 4 seed. So I've got Arizona taking the 5 seed. I know that maybe not everyone's going to love that pick, but I think that they're going to be solid this year. I know we're missing D-Hop for a while, but I think that once he comes back, they'll be able to squeeze out some games. I think they've got a really good running back core too. And they've really upped their defense as well. So I think that they're going to be a really solid team. Dallas coming in at 11-6. I don't think that they're Super Bowl bound, but I think they're going to be a solid team this year for sure. And then Minnesota taking that 7th seed also at 11-6. Not Detroit. I love Detroit, but I think that, NFC is looking really good this year. I don't see really anything new happening. Honorable mention, though, I do have Carolina going 9-8. Everyone else I saw had them doing terrible, so I wanted to throw that out there. But as far as Super Bowl goes, I have Buffalo going for the AFC. No surprise there. And I know we talked a lot of crap, but Aaron Rodgers is going to finally take his team. The year that no one expects it, no one sees it coming. Yeah, they took a step back. But Aaron Rodgers is tired of y'all messing with him. He's going to go in the locker room. He's going to do some ayahuasca, and he's going to come out there and he's going to ball out, like he said. So, I think that is a totally legitimate thing here. So, Indy number 1 seed and Green Bay going to the Super Bowl. That's how I see this thing playing out. But I do have Buffalo winning that Super Bowl. And so I'm taking Josh Allen and the Bills all the way this year. But I got to have the honorable mention with Aaron Rodgers. All right. I know that was long-winded. I'm ready for the heat. Where's it at?
Okay, so mine's kind of here in the middle. Okay. Knock has Green Bay not even making the playoffs. And you have the Packers going where? John?
They're taking an L to the Josh Allen because Josh Allen's ready to get that dub. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Pat, all of them were giving him crap at the golf tournament. He's ready to get that dub, but I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to beat him there for sure.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure. Sure because he falls.
I like Sammy too, man. He picked up Sammy. I'm showing love. Love. A little bold, I know, but.
Okay, Marengo, no, go ahead. Marengo, I know you have something to say.
Let me tell you about Tennessee, my man.
You noticed they didn't make it?
You think Derrick Henry coming off injury is really going to make a lot of difference. I get it. It was brutal. He was out for a while. It took 5 weeks, 6 weeks for Jonathan Taylor to even catch up to this man's yards. He's going to come out and he's going to ball the hell out. We know who Tennessee is. We know they've got the line. We know Derrick Henry's going to knock some people over. That's how they're going to win games. Tannehill's going to throw the ball down the field every once in a while. They also don't have A.J. Brown anymore. So I do get it from that aspect. I don't really know who their number 1 receiver is going to be in Tennessee right now. But I tell you what, man, Derrick Henry's going to put that team on his back, and they're going to squeeze out some wins. And I do think they're going to barely squeeze into the playoffs. You having you having them not even making the playoffs is wild to me. But you know what's even more wild? I know you got something to say. Hang on. Indianapolis being the best in the AFC, like their strength of schedule. Their strength of schedule, I get you, man. But them being the best in the AFC is wild to me. I really like Indianapolis. I have them going to the AFC conference game. I think they're going to be great. I think they're going to do good things. But winning the entire conference is a stretch, man. I see where you got those bold predictions from. You and Knockdown there collaborating.
Hold on, now hold on. So I got a couple things to say to you right now. First off, I've got Indianapolis 14-3 and losing their very first playoff game because I think that strength of schedule is the only reason they win the AFC. I think that they are going to be that fake number 1 seed that we see from time to time, right? You have them 12-5. That's 2-game difference, but you know where you make up those 2 games? You have them winning playoff games. That's insane to me. So you're telling me that I have them winning against a bunch of shit teams. Excuse my language. But then you have them winning in the playoffs in the AFC and going to the conference final?
Yeah, bud. Because they're playing at home in the playoffs. In my standings, they're playing at home. They've got Tennessee going to Indianapolis. I think they win that game. They edge it out. I think it's a close game, but they do edge it out. The only tough game I see them really having in the playoffs is going to be in Buffalo, and you can argue with me. I'll take the heat on that. I did pick Indianapolis to win that game in Buffalo. I think it's going to be a really, really tough, really, really cold game. But I got them
Super Bowl champions.
Yep. I have them beating your Super Bowl champions and then losing the next week to the Chiefs in the conference championship.
So it sounds like you're the Indianapolis diehard here.
I just don't see them winning the conference, man. I think they have a good team, but the fact that you had them as your number 1 seed just baffles me.
Hey, man, it is what it is. I think that they're going to do very well until the playoffs start. But the other thing I wanted to mention to you is, yes, I think Derrick Henry is still going to be a beast. I never said Derrick Henry would not be a beast. What I think is overall, the offense is going to slow to a 9-8 look as opposed to a sneak into the playoffs look. I think that kind of the last few years they've declined quite a bit. I mean, they were just an AFC title a couple years ago. They added a couple pieces. They were still solid, but now they've lost 2 of their top receivers, and they got Derrick Henry. Even if he comes in and puts up 1,300 rushing yards this season, I think that that's a little less than what he's used to, and I don't think that's going to carry him to the playoffs necessarily, especially in the AFC. Maybe in the NFC it would work, but I don't know about this year, man. I think that it's just it's going to be too intense this year unless there's some kind of god-awful injury on one of these other teams. I just don't see him making it, and that'll be the one maybe I got to put money on because I guess I'm the only one here who doesn't see him being at least a 6 seed.
I don't know, man. Tennessee, I've just learned to not bet against Tennessee. They've screwed me over before, so I gotta go with Tennessee every once in a while. But other than that, man, I don't think your playoff picture's too bad. I can really see Josh Allen really getting after it. I think he's hungry. The kid's got a cannon. The Buffalo Bills as an organization are tired of getting knocked out of the playoffs. I could really see that happen, and so I think that's a really good pick.
Appreciate it. Well, let's look into some other stuff here. So we've all kind of said how we're feeling about, obviously our standings for the entire year. I think it's going to be great. But what I want to get into is we can finally do this on the show. We got games starting tonight. Like, what's everyone thinking, man? I'm just going to go ahead and let's pull up the graphic for week 1 here. So, of course, being Chiefs fans, we got to talk about the Chiefs game. We're playing against the Cardinals. We all have the Chiefs winning that game in Arizona. What do you guys think of that game? Do you guys think it's going to be close, or do you guys think it's going to be great? Like, what's everyone else think with that?
Kind of hard to tell. Because we all, as lifelong Chiefs fans, we all know what Chiefs we can get. We can get the Chiefs that look like the team that won the Super Bowl. We could look like a Matt Castle-led team of old. So it's kind of hard to tell. It's the start of the season. I think Kansas City does end up winning that game, but it's the start of the season. we don't know. So we very well could go into that game and lose it. Knock, I know you haven't said anything in a while. What do you think about it?
I've got a close game, but I think that Kansas City pulls it out. I've got Kansas City winning it 34-28. I think both teams have had the entire offseason to kind of scheme for one another. Um, we have the same coaching on both sides of the ball this year. So I expect to see the offenses really take some shots and get, kind of get off, if you will, on the other team. So, but I do expect that Kansas City pulls it out. They just have a superior talent base on both sides of the ball, and then they also have better speed and so with the playoff experience the Chiefs have, just bringing it into Week 1 in preparation with Andy Reid, I just don't see how they lose that game, even though it is on the road uh, there in Phoenix.
I think Arizona has a really solid team. I said it before going over my standings. I think they're going to be a playoff team. Um, but I think at least to start this season, D Hop's not playing. There's a lot of bad stuff in the press about Kyler and having issues with the team. I would just be really surprised, no matter who they were playing, unless it was like a Jets or a Jags game or something. I just don't know if they can come out there and really put up a big game against a big powerhouse team like the Chiefs Week 1 with all this stuff going on. But we'll have to see. One thing I thought was very interesting, though, was I saw that everybody here had the game within a touchdown, except for Marengo with a 35-10 prediction. How'd you get there, man?
Man, we start the season off with a really tough schedule, and thinking about that is why we have to prepare for not only Arizona, but we also play the Chargers in week 2. So we need to get started hot. Our first 5 weeks are rough. I think we come into this game, Andy, like you said, we've had all offseason to prepare. Andy's got a plan. If it doesn't work in the first quarter, he's got 5 or 6 other plans that we're going to put into play. It's not going to be pretty. I think Arizona's got a decent football team. I'm not saying they don't, but I don't think it's going to be close, man. I think we go in, we get the job done, roll on to week 2, get ready for the Chargers.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm really wondering what our team's going to look like week 1, man. We definitely made some moves that I just did not expect. Like, I really was looking forward to Derek Gore, and unfortunately, we don't have him anymore. We still have Ronald Jones for now. Like, what do you guys think our running back core is going to look like for that game?
I mean, obviously, I think Clyde's going to get the start. I mean, he's the veteran guy at this point. He's been there a couple of years. I mean, he knows the system. I think I would really like to see Jerick McKinnon get some more time on the field, man. He impressed me so much last year. He's so fast. He's so shifty. And I think Rojo's only – I like Rojo. I think he's a strong back, but I think he's really only there for, like, third down, short yardage situations because he's about the only back we got that can – I mean, Clyde will do it, but he's more of a spin-off guy. But he's the only guy that can really put his shoulders down and go through some people. So I think all in all, I think our running back room looks solid. I mean, it's nowhere near like the top in the NFL by any means. But you put that together with our wide receiving core, our tight ends, our line, our defense, our quarterback. It's a deadly combo, man. But I think we're looking pretty nice. I think we're looking really nice.
Awesome. So I guess moving on from there, what did we think for tonight's game, man? We got the Bills-Rams, first game of the season. We're finally getting some football going, and Caleb's on an island. He thinks the Rams are going to win. I mean, honestly, you can't. I don't think that's I don't think you can go wrong picking either of these teams. Rams obviously won the Super Bowl. I'll start with you though, Caleb. What is there a specific reason you chose the Rams to win this game?
I just think it's hyped up. If this game were reversed, if it were in Buffalo, I might have a different opinion. I think the Rams are still riding on that high. I've been on record saying Josh Allen is hungry, but Matthew Stafford just left Detroit and then won a ring. This dude, he's not going to stop there. All right, like he's hungry. I think this is going to be a game where I think Buffalo's going to come in. I think they're going to run into a buzzsaw. I really do. I don't have the scores in front of me, but I do believe it was a 2-score game.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I had them winning 41-28. I believe. I think the Rams are going to come in here. I think they're going to put the league on notice. They're not done, and I think this is a statement game. I know it's only the first game of the season. I think this is a statement game for the Rams. I know they just came off of a Super Bowl win. I have this game circled, not for the other reasons, but I think the Rams are going to come out here, and I think they're going to prove something early. What are you guys feeling on that?
I mean, I think it's definitely possible. I definitely didn't pick the Rams to take it. I mean, I have a pretty close game, and I damn sure didn't have a 2-score game. But I had a 35-31. I'll give you this, man. If the Rams do pull this out, I do think it is a big statement to the rest of the NFL. Because Buffalo, in my head, is a top 5 team in the NFL, maybe top 3 team in the NFL. So to go out and to put a whooping on them like you think they're going to do, man, if they do that, watch out the rest of the NFL, watch out the rest of everybody, man. But in my mind, I see it being a close game. I see Buffalo going out and getting the job done. I really think Josh Allen's hungry. Buffalo's just solid in all positions, man. I mean, LA's there too, but I don't see a situation where LA really pulls out this game.
Look,
Knock, what do you think on this one?
yeah, look, guys, Buffalo is that team. Okay, Buffalo is that team. Their defense is already one of the best in the league, and it's only getting better because they just got guys back in their secondary that they were missing last year. I mean, this team is ready to go. The Rams are going to have that Super Bowl hangover. They're going to probably be getting their rings week 1. You know what I mean? They're going to, they're going to be looking at their rings and all of that. And next thing you know, they're going to be down by 10. Josh Allen is going to leave that great Rams defensive line just wondering where the ball's at. They're going to run the ball quite a bit against the Rams. And again, we talk about Aaron Donald and how aggressive he can be. And I know he's great. But we have to understand that the Bills have a well-rounded defense all the way around. As well as an offense. So I've got them winning a close game, though. I do have a close game, 24-21 Buffalo.
Okay. I like that. I actually I had very similar takes as you on that one, Knock. You took the words right out of my mouth, man. I think that they're going to be worried about those rings, Super Bowl hangover, all that stuff. But kind of like you mentioned with the Bills defense already being great, they re-signed pretty much everybody. They also just added Von Miller. And I know he's getting up there in age, but the dude still balls out, and he just got a ring last year. I think that, in a funny way, he gets to still be there for the ring ceremony, right? And then he's going to proceed to beat that ass afterwards. I actually have this being an 11-point win, 28-17 Buffalo. I think, it's only a matter of time for a team like that. That's why I picked them to win this year. I mean, these guys have been hungry, getting knocked out right before that game every year. I think they're ready to come out and make a statement this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they do even better than the 14-3 I've got them picked at. And I think they're going to come out and make a statement week 1 for sure. May not be 45-10 or anything, but I think it's a statement to beat the Rams by 2 scores. So I'm excited to see what happens tonight, man. Just the fact that football's back on just has me giddy, knowing that we're going to have football every weekend until February. It's a blessing. So we had a couple other really interesting games this week. Because of all the flack I've been catching, I would love to really talk about this Patriots-Dolphins going down this week. And I think I'm ready to put some bets on this one, man. Knock and I've got Patriots taking this one, and I see Caleb and Mango have the Dolphins. You guys really just have no faith in the Patriots, do you? What's going on with that?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, I'm just talking mess to you guys. I mean, you guys are you guys believing everything Tyreek says, or you guys think that the most accurate quarterback in the NFL is going to come out and do Belichick bad? What's going on, man?
Listen,
Okay,
man,
stop there.
I, I really think this is all going to come down to how Miami's offense plays together. We know their defense is run of the mill. Like they're going to get some stops. They're going to be okay, whatever. But it's all Miami's record will come down to this year how well Tua plays with Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, and how well that line protects him. So going into week one, they added a lot of talent this year. I know Bill Belichick, New England, they are who they are. We all know the talent level that coach has with his team. He's going to get his boys ready. Right. But I don't know, man. I got a feeling about Tua. I got a feeling about Jalen Waddle, Tyreek, Mike Gesicki. I really just think those guys are going to come out and have something to prove. I don't think they're going to do a whole lot this year, but going into week one, I think they've got that motivation of still being 0-0 to go out and be like, we got that 1-0 record and we beat New England. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I also saw, and I know it's only preseason, but I saw New England lost pretty bad to the Raiders, and they also lost to the Giants. And, I mean, they had some issues going through the preseason of can the offense get in the end zone, because even when the ones were out there, they were struggling pretty hard. So, I mean, it's just kind of up in the air. Like I said, man, it's all going to depend on how well Miami's offense plays together.
Knock, what do you think? Why'd you go with the Patriots over the Dolphins this game?
Look, guys, I mean, it's no surprise here. Bill Belichick owns the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins, every now and then, they get a win, and they try to act like they're the team that has a chance to take over that division. But we all know full and damn well that the Bills are the only team that can really compete with the Patriots. And just because they've got Tyreek now ain't going to change much. Okay, Bill Belichick is having the game plan against Tyreek for all of these AFC championships. We end up playing them every year because of strength of schedule and so on and so forth. So, look, guys, it might be close. It might be close, but and I'm looking here. What do I have that game at? New England 28-13. No, not that close, because now that they've got Tyreek, they're what we would call a one-trick pony. Well, at least that's better than no tricks, because Tua is not that dude. Tua is great for your fantasy football team, but Tua is not going to take you to beat teams that are built to win by running the ball and playing sound defense. And trust me when I tell you the Patriots will have a great defense this season.
I don't doubt that they'll have a great defense. I just don't think their offense is going to be able to live up to that defense. I don't have a whole lot of faith in Mac Jones. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't have a whole lot of faith, man. And you're gonna say one trick pony like they don't have Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, Tua. You can say what you want about Tua, but he is an NFL style quarterback. He's still gonna go out and make some throws, man. He's not a starting quarterback for no reason. And they got Emmanuel Ogbah, they got Xavier Howard on the defense. They're looking pretty solid, man.
They had all these guys last year.
No, they didn't. They didn't have Tyreek last year.
No. You were saying they're a one-trick pony because of Tyreek.
Yeah,
like
they had
Jalen, they had Gesicki, they had Gask, and they had all these people.
You're gonna say adding Tyreek doesn't free up any other options on their offense?
I mean, sure.
The fastest
they're going to be a little better.
Free people up.
They're going to be a little better, but I mean, I don't think that they're going to go out there and just immediately be able to steamroll teams, especially one
I'm not saying they
like
even
the Patriots.
steamroll a team.
The Patriots have had Mac Jones, who has been a little underwhelming, and they still went to the playoffs because they have an immaculate defense. The thing is, Tyreek may be better as an NFL player than Mac Jones on the offensive side, but the Patriots defense is way better than the Dolphins defense. And I don't think Tyreek is all of a sudden, he may add 2 wins to their season, but I don't think that they're going to just start winning against great defenses.
No. And I agreed with you on my last thing. I said the Patriots defense is great. That's always good. And I don't think they come out and steamroll anybody, man. I called the game 24-17. Looking back at it, I think that's a little bit high. I might call the game, a 14-10, a 17-10 game, but I'm still taking Miami.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, honestly, I just don't. And you can look this. I know Caleb's kind of our fact checker here. He's fast on the Google. But when was the last time that Miami beat Last time Miami beat New England, was it not Fitz magic? And I mean, that's a fluke, right? And also, by the way, Fitz, if you're watching this, thank you, sir. You gave us that 1 seed for the Super Bowl that year. I appreciate that. But
My man.
I just don't see it. Yeah, that's my boy. But you ain't got Fitz magic. You got the most accurate quarterback in the league in Tua out there. So we're gonna find out.
Yeah, and just to throw it in there, I for damn sure am not trusting anything Tyreek says about Tua, man. Like I said, I've said it before on the podcast, and I'll continue to say it. If they were paying me 120 mil, I'd be saying he's the most accurate, whatever you want.
Fastest. He's the fastest. He's the best. Caleb, you have been a little quiet over there. I could tell that you are disturbed by some things. What's you thinking over there, man?
I don't even know where to start. Okay. In the era that Bill Belichick has dominated Miami, what was the name of the quarterback he had? You might know him. Everybody might know him. By the name of Tom Brady. He dominated Miami because he had Tom Brady. Now, I'm not saying either way. Look, listen. I have Miami winning this game 31-28. That being said, in Kansas City, did we not, maybe not us in particular, did we not say the most uplifting things about Tyreek Hill?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So why all of a sudden are we just writing him off in Miami?
I don't think it's a write-off.
You can't put regular gas in a Lamborghini and think that it's going to be as fast on the track as if you put octane in it. Right now, you take Tyreek, who is a Lambo, who's been getting that premium octane gas play in and play out, not just because of Pat Mahomes having the best arm in the league and being able to extend plays and use Tyreek 50 yards down the field, but also because he's got the best offensive schemer that we've seen in the last decade in Andy Reid. Both of them putting that high octane gas on Tyreek Hill. Now he's down there with Tua throwing the ball. And who's their offensive coordinator in Miami? Who is calling the plays in Miami? You see my point? This is why this unleaded gas going into that Lamborghini, and Tyreek is not going to flash like that.
And
not as often.
I'm not disagreeing with you. In that sense, I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm saying is, it just feels like we're acting like, I feel like in a sense we're just acting like Tyreek is a non-factor. And I still have this game close. I have them 31-28. I have that reflecting. I have Miami going 11-6. So I don't know. It's a close game, 31-28, Miami winning. John, I know you have something to say.
Just baffled.
At what?
I mean, because you think that us saying that Miami can't beat or won't beat the Patriots just because they have Tyreek, like that's not writing him off. I think that it's very similar. Like for instance, right? Odell Beckham, he was a fucking monster. Excuse my language. He was a monster in New York, right? Went to the Browns, not as much of a monster, and honestly, that wasn't even nearly a difference in quarterback play, right? I still think Tyreek's going to have a 900, 1,100 to 1,100 yard season. I think he's going to do great, but I just don't think that's going to immediately convert to him being like this superstar that he was in Kansas City and getting them as nearly as far as Kansas City. I think that he makes a difference in the sense of I have Miami as my 6th seed team over the Patriots. But I think that a system team, you got Bill Belichick. He's arguably the best coach of all time, or at least one of them. And you give this man an entire offseason to prepare for a division rival. I just don't see a young team in Miami coming in against that defense and doing a great job. I've got it as kind of a low score win, but I got Patriots winning by more than one touchdown.
Okay.
So
And
I think it's 20. I think I got it 27-14. I think is the score I had here.
I think Mango and I are kind of on the same side with this one.
No, I was wrong.
I don't. Mac Jones, think he has the potential. I don't see in week one. I'm just specifically talking about this game. I think Tyreek's going to try and come out. I think he's going to have some plays called for him. I think he's going to try and be like, yeah, no, I did not necessarily need Mahomes. I can still do whatever I get after I get the ball. He's going to run all over. That's just for this game. He's going to show out. He's going to do everything he can to show out. That's the only thing I'm trying to get across. He's going to show out, and I think that's what it is. Mango, go ahead. I can tell you had something.
You know what? Just what really scares me about Tyreek being in Miami though is, like, I did name off some weapons. They've got some weapons on the defense, but Tyreek is obviously going to be like the superstar of that offense, right? He's the number one guy. He's the guy they're going to. And we've seen it before with other teams where when you have that guy, he gets the ball a lot and ends up getting hurt. And I feel like I don't know, man. I just got a feeling that Tyreek's going to go out and try and do a little too much. Maybe later on in the season. I know we're talking about week one, but we got on the topic of Tyreek. I just think later on in the season, he's going to try and be that guy a little too much, and I think he's going to go out there and get himself hurt. And I really hope that it doesn't happen. I really, really hope that it doesn't happen, but I can really see it playing out that way, unfortunately.
I think with all the media hype and stuff, if anybody balls out, I actually think it's going to be Waddle. I think Waddle gets opened up. I think Gesicki gets opened up. But I just think that they've got to have a plan for Tyreek, and unless they've got some crazy wildcat formation type stuff coming out the backfield with him, I don't see him getting more than 60 yards.
They've definitely got the players to do the wildcat stuff, man. I mean, they've got some really fast guys on that side of the ball. So, I mean, if they'd be kind of dumb not to pull that out. I mean, maybe not every drive. Obviously, you need your let's methodically get down the field drives, but yeah, they'd be kind of dumb not to pull that out, man, with the offense they've got.
Yeah, I mean, I think Miami's going to be a fun team to watch, but I don't see them being like the Patriots in a sense where Mac Jones is going to dime you all the way up the field, right? And they got a decent run game. They've got two really good running backs with a great defense. I think that they can ground and pound you, but I think Miami's going to be one of those like punt 3 times, but then they throw a massive Hail Mary to Tyreek or something crazy. Maybe he breaks off a slant route and makes it into something bigger because he is that kind of player. But I don't know, man. We'll just have to see, man. It's going to be a good game. Another one that I think like week one is filled with some really good games, man. I think another one that I thought was really interesting is Tampa Bay in Dallas. What do you guys think of that game? Based on our picks here, it looks like Caleb again on the island with the Cowboys. Caleb, how'd you get there?
I kind of off air, I kind of gave Knock some slack for this, and for this instance, don't make fun of me. For this instance, I do apologize to Knock. I Dallas is at home. I think this is a game they're going to try to prove themselves. I made fun of you guys for, we them boys, we that. I'm not with the Cowboys at all. I'm just saying. I think Dallas comes out of this. I'm looking at the scores here. I have Dallas. This is a close one. 31-28. I think this is going to be, and it might be a little bit low scoring than that. I think Dallas is going to come out. I think again they're going to be one of those teams trying to make a statement early on. They are looking at Philly. They're not worried about anybody else in their division, not even remotely. But they're going to go for Philly's neck, and we all have those two teams at the top of the division or near it this upcoming season. So I think Dallas is going to be. They're going to be hungry. I think they're going to look for a statement win. And where else are you going to get a statement win at the start of the season against Tampa Bay?
Yeah, look, I've got the Cowboys winning it all. But I got to agree with Caleb on this one. It's going to be a really tight game. It's going to be a really tight game. In this instance, I've got actually got the Buccaneers winning in overtime. 23-20, but it could easily be the other way around. I think that the Cowboys are right there. The way I see the season playing out, I've kind of got like this is kind of a catalyst for the Cowboys to really see like this is the baseline of competition and kind of use this to drive them forward through the rest of the season. But yeah, I also foresee a really close game, and I'm excited to watch it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think I'm not mad at either of those picks. I could see it being a very close game, but that's not the take I'm taking, man. I think Tampa Bay is going to come in there and mollywop those stupid little Cowboys, man. They come in every season hot. I think they always like to come in and they like to start off like 3-0, get all my Cowboys friends riled up, talking crap to me because the Chiefs are 2-1 or 1-2 on a rough start, you know. But they're not coming in and playing, the Giants, Commanders, and Panthers their first 3 weeks. Nah, man, you coming in here, you playing Tom. You got a new coach in Tampa. I think they're going to do a really good job. Um, Dallas does, like, on paper, they have the best offense. They have getting a much better defense. I think they'll overall have a good team this year. But man, I don't know, man. I think Tom Brady is just someone who similar to Andy Reid and the Chiefs. You give this man a bye week or a whole off season to prepare for a game that could have playoff implications. I just don't see that Dallas coming in there with Mike McCarthy at the head coach spot comes in and wins that game. But that's just me. I could see it happening. I don't.
2021. I'm sorry, Mango. Just
no, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. 2021. Dallas came into Tampa week 1. It was a very close game. 31-29. Tampa ended up winning. I remember I was in Kansas City watching that game. Mm-hmm. I just think Dallas being at home, them wanting to have a statement game, I just think that just to give more emphasis to my point, I really think Dallas comes out on top of this one. Mango, go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. Looking back at this one was kind of a rough pick. And I know on my prediction, I have Tampa Bay taking it by 10. 24-14. I think it's a lot closer game than that. I think they get some garbage time points. I really like Knox's pick of 23-20. I think it's going to be a damn close game. I kind of agree with you guys on the fact that Dallas is hungry. Dallas on paper should have one of the best teams overall in the entire NFL. It's just for some reason, man, Dallas has some kind of curse, some kind of anti-Super Bowl barrier that they can't get past. And it's I see Tom going in week 1, man. I mean, he's had a lot of stuff in the news going on lately. I think he's pissed off. He's going to go and take it out on Dallas 24-14.
Well, that I'll tell you right now, I'm circling that bad boy on my calendar for sure. I think that's going to be a great game regardless to watch. One more I definitely want to talk about, even if just briefly. There's going to be a little bit of hype this week. We got Baker going back to Cleveland. Oh, man. What's going to happen? Who knows? I mean, you've got a Deshaun. I think this game will be a lot better. Like, not that I want Deshaun to not get a suspension for what he's supposedly did. But I think it's going to be fun at least to watch Carolina go in. I know Baker. I don't know if this was a good source or not. I don't know if it's actually happened, but I saw something that said that Baker said he was going to go in there and F them up this week. So I want to see what happens. I mean, I would hope. Like, my thing is, if Carolina goes in and they lose to the Browns with who they got, is Josh Rosen starting this week? I think if they go in there and can't even win that game, maybe my 9-8 prediction for Carolina was a little bit too positive. If they can't go in and win this week, I would hope he goes in there and does something. But what do you guys think?
No, I agree. I think Baker is going to go in there and F them up. I think he's got Christian McCaffrey back. He's got what's that kid's name? DJ Moore as a wide receiver. He's going to do some big things in Cleveland. He's going to go out and he's going to get a dub. looking at the score, I've got it at 21-17. I don't think it's even going to be that close, man. I think it might be 21-3, 21-7. He's going to go mess them boys up. But I know Caleb's looking up something right now. You pulling up some stats over there?
No, the only thing I was looking, the only thing I was looking up is to see. I wanted to see all of our scores
Oh, I
for
see. Okay.
Carolina, Cleveland, and all of us have this. John has it as the most. It's the most differential. He has them 29-21. The rest of us have it within a 4-score game, or
What's
within
really
4
tripping
points.
me out?
Yeah.
What's really tripping me out? I didn't think this would be a game that had so much to talk about, but I see that Knock actually has Cleveland taking a dub in Week 1 against Carolina. Man, tell me a little bit about that.
Look, guys, I mean, this all just boils down to understanding players, coaches, and their thought process going into the game. Think about this. The Panthers have no skin in the game. McCaffrey's trying to come back, and no one's talking about McCaffrey there. Everyone's talking about Baker. Those players are not getting any credit. No one's talking about them. They're talking about Baker. They're not even talking about Baker in Cleveland. Cleveland doesn't even want Baker. But all of a sudden now, all their questions, everything they got to deal with is about Baker, and they don't know Baker like that. They haven't gone into the fire really yet with Baker. They like the kid, no question, but and it's their quarterback. But really, they haven't earned it yet. They haven't really boiled that. Now look on the other side. Look what's going on in Cleveland. Who are they talking about in Cleveland? Deshaun. All the players are getting these questions about Deshaun. They're tired of it. They're not happy. They're going to come out there and they are going to physically dominate. They're going to come out there with that offensive line. They're going to toss those guys around, and they're going to mash it down their throat. They're going to control the ball with running the ball and playing solid defense and special teams. I see them pulling out a close game, 27-24, and putting the league on notice that they're at least mediocre.
I don't think that's impossible. I love the running back core in Cleveland. I think they have a good chance of winning, but I also think that if McCaffrey comes out there and does what he's supposed to do, when everyone's keeping him in the league still here 2 years after he hasn't really played much, like if he can come out and be that guy, I just don't see how they can lose that game. But I mean, obviously, I'm a little skeptical only having it be an 8-point game, anyways. So we'll see how it goes, man. I'm really interested to watch that one as well.
With Baker Mayfield, I'm really hoping it's like his college story. Do you guys know that he transferred from Texas Tech to Oklahoma?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he left Texas Tech because Texas Tech he wasn't playing at Texas Tech. Went to Oklahoma, won a Heisman. Obviously, the rest is history. I don't think it's going to play out that way in the NFL, but man, I'm really rooting for Baker in Carolina. I really hope he has that kind of a storyline. I do love an underdog, so I'm really hoping that he goes into Carolina. He runs their team pretty well. I don't see I don't see any way that Cleveland wins this game, man. I do agree with you. I think that they're going to come out and run the ball because that's all they can do. But Carolina's also been game planning for that shit all offseason. Yeah. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, well, we'll see. What was this other one I was just looking at, man? We got a couple of good games. We're talking about the revenge games. We didn't have much to talk about on the Baker one, but I know we're not going to have a lot to talk about here. What do you think is going to happen when Russ goes back to Seattle with the Broncos?
Ooh,
do you see Seattle sneaking out a win here? I'll go ahead and answer that for everyone. No. Hold on. Let me read off these scores here. I've got Denver winning 31-7. Caleb's got Denver winning 35-14. Marengo's being a little more generous. He's got it 27-10. And let's just end it on a real fun note. Knock has Denver winning 41-6. Could you say, I didn't pick that score at all, like thinking like Russ needed his revenge or anything. I think Seattle's just going to be that bad. Like they're just that bad. I don't know if you guys even had much thought in that pick. What do you think, Caleb? I'll throw it to you.
And I think I was by far I was the only one that had Seattle doing anything this year. I think this is going to be one of those games. Again, it comes back to a week one. This is going to change as we go week to week as the season goes on. I think Seattle is, yes, they might be in this rebuilding phase, but I think they're gonna try to have something to say about, hey, just because you left, you're not gonna run all over us. And and I still have Denver winning 35-14, man. Listen, I don't think this is going to be a close game at all. I don't. But I do think if there was a week one game where Seattle was going to try and get up for this, it's going to be against Russell Wilson. And that's why, y'all might laugh at me for this. This is why I have them scoring 14 points. All right. Like, I think this is going to be a game where I do think they try. I think the second half's going to come and they're going to be like, all right, white flag. Like, this game's going to be over. I think Denver's going to run with this, as evidenced by all of us having Denver just steamrolling Seattle. I don't even think this is going to be close. Marengo, what's your take on this?
I'm really upset that Russ went to Denver. I'm happy for him, but I am a Russell Wilson fan. And unfortunately, being a Chiefs fan means that I cannot root for him anymore. but yeah, man, I think Seattle is trying to tank this year, man. I think they're going for draft picks. They've traded away most of their team. I just don't see a situation where they even come out and look decent against Denver. I think Denver puts the foot on their throat from the beginning, from the word go, and it's the sky's the limit. I really wouldn't be surprised with Knox's pick of 41-6. Honestly, looking back at it, when I made my prediction, I didn't even think about Russ being there, to be completely honest with you. I just think it's going to be that much of a shellacking. I think Seattle is just off this year, and they're going to maybe get 2 or 3 wins, maybe 4. I think I have them at 4. But, yeah, man, there's not really too much to talk about when it comes to Seattle this year.
Knock, what do you think?
Look, guys, I think it's clear what I think. Seattle's trash, okay? Mm-hmm. Let's just be clear. I want to say this, and I want to be absolutely 100% clear. Seattle is dog water. Seattle is trash. Seattle has no shot at winning this game. If you're a betting man, this is 100% lock. Cash it in. This is a done deal. I don't care if it's out of conference road game. It doesn't matter. Okay. And it's not because of Russ. It's not because of the better quarterback. It's not because of the better running game. It's not because of the better defense all the way around, including an absolute amazing secondary against a quarterback Geno Smith, who's lucky he's starting at any game, anywhere that's not in a college uniform. This game is going to be a throttling, a shellacking. Mark my words. Take this to the bank. This is 100% locked this week.
Seahawks fan, I just want to apologize in advance.
And I just want to ask you this. I want to ask you this. You mentioned something about their defense, Caleb. How did the Seahawks improve their defense whenever you lose Adams as safety one year and the very next year you lose Bobby Wagner? Who is going to play defense?
All I said.
DK Metcalf is best defender on that team. You see how he. Y'all remember how he chased that dude down?
I said is that if there was a game that Seattle was going to try, I didn't say they were going to do. They were going to try to get up for it. This is going to be it. Marengo, I know you had something to say.
Man, their quarterback battle was Geno Smith and Drew Lock, and you think they're gonna do well this season?
Hey, I'll tell you what. Everyone's looking at this revenge game like, man, what's Russ gonna do to them? Because no, man, y'all are forgetting who the real revenge seekers are. Drew Lock and Noah Fant, they're coming out here. They're ready to go, and they're gonna get that ass beat. That's what's gonna happen. But
yeah.
No, man. Honestly, I'm surprised we're still even talking about this, man, because the game's going to be over shorter than it took to talk about it.
I'm just saying, what happens when Seattle wins?
Look.
I will eat
You
my
didn't
words.
even bet for them to win. You didn't even. Hold on. What was your score again? You've got this game.
35-14.
Yeah. You got it at 21. All right. We're moving on. I got one more game. I would love to. I mean, there are a lot of good games here. I'll just kind of brush through a couple of these. I mean, we all agree there's a great game potentially with the Raiders Chargers. Knock and Caleb think that the Raiders are a 4-13 team. I think they're actually a 10-7 team. I think that's a really good game with the Chargers. I got the Raiders higher up, but I do have the Chargers winning that game. Everyone does. We all see that the Jets are going to lose to the Ravens. Jags Commanders is a toss-up, 2-2. Titans are going to mollywop the Giants. We all agree there. Excuse me. But a couple of these are very interesting to me. And I want to talk about the Saints and Falcons. Now, I know that we kind of talk about them like they're going to be two teams that don't matter, but we talk about some of the regrets that we have with our standings on this show, and I've always brought up the Steelers because I think I was wrong putting them at 4-13. I think they're going to do a lot better. I'm starting to talk myself into a different narrative. I do think that there's another team I've been very hard on this show that I think is actually going to do a little better than I expected. Don't worry, Marengo. It's not the Falcons at all. I think the Falcons. What did Knock call it? Dog water. I think they are cat water. They are terrible.
I've never even heard that being.
I don't either. I don't know what it means either. But I don't know. Like Falcons are trash. I don't know what else to call them. Sewage. And then we've got. But I do think New Orleans will be way better than I have them projected. I've really been thinking in my head like New Orleans. I think could be a 9-8 team this year. They maybe need to switch with the Panthers on my bracket or my standings. I'm sorry, but I've got Nola winning that game. I think that if Jameis can stay healthy, they'll be all right. They've got Taysom playing like 4 positions. I think they'll be all right. Michael Thomas is coming back. Alvin Kamara is still Alvin Kamara. What do you guys think? So I'll throw this one at Knock next. Why do you think you've got Nola winning too? Why you got that?
Well, I mean, they're a better franchise, a better team. For the same reason that I have the Patriots winning against the Dolphins, right? The Saints have a lot better firepower. Their defense is solid. I think we're only down on them because of the season that they had last year. And they were decimated by injuries, just decimated by injuries. So we're going to get a more accurate look at those guys. And so, I wouldn't be surprised if it was more dominant than I have it, because I've got it at 30-24. But I just haven't seen what these teams look like, and I don't have that strong of opinion about teams other than like Seattle. But I'm high on the Saints. I look at you guys. No one else has them winning more than 4 games, and that's a lot lower. I have them winning 8 games. I think they're definitely going to be a middle of the pack team that they're going to look back and see some turnovers or maybe some injuries or a missed field goal here or there could be the difference between them making the playoffs.
For sure. Mango, what do you think there? I mean, I know Atlanta is your squad. Did that have part to do with your decision making on this game?
No, man. Actually, this one I kind of went back and forth on because, like Knox said, I really don't know what to expect. I really like Mariota, and to be completely honest with you, that's that's where my pick came from for that week. But I tell you what, the storyline on this game that I'm really looking forward to see is Drake London and Chris Olave. 2 high-profile rookie wide receivers, one coming from Ohio State, one coming from USC. I think that this is going to be a big year for the rookies. What is so funny over there? What did I say that's making you die so hard right now? That I like Mariota?
You got him again.
Listen, man, I'm gonna come out next week, next podcast, and I'm gonna have a Mariota jersey hanging on my wall.
I'm sorry.
It'll be a Ducks Mariota jersey. Don't worry about it.
A Ducks one. Okay, we're cool with that one.
No, man, but really, I think I it was a toss-up game for me. I mean, I don't really know what to expect a whole lot out of the two teams yet. I'm really hoping that Atlanta does really well. Obviously, I've been on record talking really good things about Atlanta. But I think more of the storyline I'm leaning towards in that game is the rookie wide receivers, because I think these two can have a standout Justin Jefferson type year, busting into the league. And to be completely honest, I'm leaning more towards Chris Olave. I didn't see a whole lot of Drake London in college football, to be completely honest, but Chris Olave is a beast, man. He was the number one wide receiver at Ohio State for a couple of years. This man makes some of the most acrobatic catches I've ever seen. So it's going to be really fun to watch either way, but I took Atlanta 14-10.
Caleb, what's got you so down over there, bud? I'm curious to know.
And I mean no disrespect. These dudes are football players. I would not make the NFL roster at any point, so please forgive me. This is just irrelevant. It doesn't matter. None of us have. I just want to before I say this, none of us have anybody outside of Tampa in the NFC South making the playoffs. It doesn't matter. And you know what? For the sake of week one, I have Atlanta winning 21-14. This is it. You know what? I have the Falcons going 7-10, and in the end, it's not even going to matter. I hate to be so blunt about that, but just for the sake of discussion, I do have Atlanta winning 21-14, and I don't know. This doesn't even, to me, I don't even think right now the discussion we're having right now. I just don't think it matters. I'm sorry, Saints. I'm sorry. I hate to be so blunt. I hate to be so blunt. Marengo, I know you feel some type of way about your Atlanta Falcons, boy. I know.
Oh my goodness.
It's not relevant. It's not. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No worries, man. I think I want to move on to our last little segment of the show. I think we're going to have to start doing moving forward, but we all collectively agreed that there's some betting that needs to be done today, and we already talked about the game. We're going to backtrack here to the New England-Miami game. We're split down the middle here. Got me and Knock going Patriots all day. And, it was one of the longest conversations on the show today. Obviously, Caleb and Marengo think that the Dolphins are going to come out and that we're just knocking on Tyreek because he left the Chiefs. So I want to put a friendly little wager on here. And everyone knows that it's 2022 and that this is a hell of a wager now. But I want y'all to fill my gas tank up after this game, man. After y'all lose, I want you filling it. I want 89, too. I don't want no 87, no 85. I want 89. I want the best of the best. And I want a car wash on top of it, too.
Right, okay, cool. Boys.
I'll be waiting on that Venmo.
I think we're going to have to go ahead and put that out there then. So y'all can pay for our gas after the Patriots win this game. And, if only I could do a moving podcast, I'd show up next week on it. I'd be spinning the block with that fresh gas, but it's all good.
We're just going to have to start a new segment for me taking all y'all's money. We're just going to call it that mango money. Call it that mango money segment.
Hey,
yes, sir.
let me get some of that mango money put in my tank, dude. That's all good.
I need some of that Caleb cash, boy. You know what I'm saying? I need my money.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm with it, man. I think that's going to have to be our money game for the week. We got our bets out here. I'm really liking, honestly, it's so hard to tell. That's why we call them too early predictions. I mean, anyone here can be right. We could all be extremely wrong. Who knows? I'm really interested to see how the season goes. I'm excited that we finally got some football on tonight. We get to do some updates on the results and keep track of score. Best of luck to you, gentlemen. Of course, I hope one of you gets second place, but
I was just about to praise you.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I think we're gonna do a good job this year over here on my side. I'm just saying my picks. I'm just looking at. I'm like, yeah, that's Saints and the Steelers. Other than that, I'm feeling damn good about everything.
Yeah, you got the Patriots making the playoffs too. But anyway, go ahead.
That's okay. The Patriots about to fill my tank.
All right.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, New England, you found a home over here. I told you, Atlanta. This guy over here. Carolina. I'm over East Coast basically. I'm all over here. But I think we've got a lot of things to look forward to this week, man.
Absolutely.
Let's get ready for week 1.
Yes. So excited. We'll be back next week to talk about how many points I've got over these lames over here. I'm now just being extra annoyed. Oh, did he just turn off his damn camera?
I should have.
Oh,
just end it right here. That's it.
Right? No, man. No, I think about it. We've already got a long cast here, guys. Man, I appreciate you guys being on. I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot of smack over the weekend with all these games, man. Super excited that football is here. So 6 more months, guys. We're ready.
Can I just say one last thing before we go?
Of course.
I started a poll on Twitter.
Oof.
And I said, we have a poll going on for this podcast. I said, who do you have winning in the season opener between Buffalo and the Rams? So far, 11 votes. 54.5% of them say the Rams are going to take that game.
Out of 11 people, that's like 6 people, Doug.
You know what? The poll just started, and that helps me out. That helps me out. The poll
6 people out of the hold on. 7 people out of the entire world, counting you, thinks the Rams are going to win.
You know what? I'm going to take that with me, and I'm going to run with it.
I'll tell you what. Speaking of polls. And this goes to all you people that were in this poll too, because I watch. We put a poll on TikTok about the Chiefs season going 9-8.
No.
Yeah, I watch. So a little bit of a higher markup here. 300 people, and about 40% of you said that the Chiefs were going to go 9-8 or worse. Now, normally I wouldn't want to associate with the type, but please keep watching this show. I think that education is an extremely important part of our society. So you are more than welcome to be educated on this show once a week, Thursdays. Come on here. Maybe we can help you guys learn something. Maybe watch a game every once in a while. But there's no way in hell these guys are going 9-8 or worse. And I'm speaking directly to the 100 of you that said that. I'm still baffled at it. 2 weeks later, I'm still hurt. My feelings are hurt. Definitely jump on the sportsbooks, man. I'll have all the links posted below. We've got Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel. I know they just legalized in Kansas for FanDuel, BetMGM, and DraftKings. So, links are open for everybody now. Go on below. Put a bet on the New England Patriots to beat Miami. That's not betting advice. I'm just saying I that's what I'm gonna do. Get your gas tank filled too. But anybody else have anything else to say before we jump out of here?
No, put that money on Atlanta. Put that money on Miami and Atlanta.
Miami and Atlanta. Y'all hear this right now.
Put that on Miami and Atlanta, week 1.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for having me on. Go Chiefs.
Yes, sir.
All right. And I look forward to being able to discuss and looking back at these picks next week and just seeing how far off we all are on all of these.
Right. Exactly.
For real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Go Indy. Let's go. Thank y'all for jumping on the show, man. Love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Sorry.
Damn.